Hello everyone. Before we start the video, thank you very much for the 100 subs. I didn't expect reaching this objective so fast, and how the channel is growing, is really make me happy. You guys are insane. In today's video we talk about the mummy boy, Inaros. When I play Inaros for first time, I say to myself, damn! How can a Warframe like that exist? The strong point of Inaros is its health. It is a Warframe that has no shield, but just health. However, he has a lot of basic health, which allows him to achieve stratospheric health. With my build, I have more than 9k health.
What does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
In this video, I'm gonna show you how works Inaros in general, and my builds. First we need to look the basic stats of Inaros, for more understanding. As you can see, Inaros' base health is very high. 550. Usually, a normal Warframe has 100 health. He has 5 times more life than the others. This is why you can go very high with your health. He has 225 armor, which is not bad, considering the fact he is extremely tanky. Also he has 100 basic energy. Now, what is Inaros' passive? The passive of Inaros make him even more tanky. Rather than having the standard bleed out state of other Warframes, Inaros instead enters an immobile sarcophagus when downed. Aiming at an enemy or ally, will siphon life from them, gradually filling his revive meter, and allowing Inaros to resurrect himself. This ability is active even during solo play, but this passive doesn't work in arbitrations. Siphoning deals 75 damage per tick to enemies, regardless of armor. However, it is still subject to other damage resistances and shields. This passive is like an extra, for his kit. The one of Inaros is Desiccation, blast enemies with a wave of cursed sand that blinds them and steals their health. 25% of any damage dealt by the damage over time effect is conferred back to Inaros as health, however lifesteal is not affected by mods. Range is affected by ability range, and the initial damage and damage over time are affected by ability strength. Desiccation provides an easy way for Inaros to deal melee finishers, allowing him to quickly regenerate his health when performed on a crowd. The augment mod for this ability is Desiccation's Curse. Killing a blinded enemy with a finisher has a 75% chance of summoning a sand shadow. Not so useful mod, in my opinion. You have way better mods to put in your build. This ability is a nice cross control, and you can have health back. The 2 of Inaros is Devour. Hold power to trap target in quicksand, and draw them in for devouring. This steals health and ultimately creates a friendly sand shadow. You need to kill the target if you want to spawn the sand shadow. Cast range is affected by ability range, quicksand duration is affected by ability duration. And initial and max damage per second are affected by ability strength. Healing is independent of damage dealt. Inaros cannot increase the amount of healing received, by amplifying the damage his target takes, and attacking enemies with increased damage resistance, will yield the same amount of healing. Enemies are unable to act, while being actively devoured, even if the ability's timer has expired. The act of devouring a trapped enemy does not consume energy, whether from Inaros or allies, and can be sustained indefinitely, for as long as the use key is held, or the enemy expires. Kavits, Kubrals, and Moa companions will also gain the benefit of the lifesteal. Sentinels will not. This ability have no augment mod right now. Maybe in the future, who knows. The 3 of Inaros is Sandstorm. Become a whirling spiral of sand, that sends enemies flying and devours those trapped in quicksand. This ability is a drain. Damage per second is affected by ability strength, while damage multiplier, mitigation, is not. Damage has a chance to proc bleed status. Diameter is affected by ability range. Sandstorm is a channeled ability that consumes 10 energy per second for the duration it is active. This ability will remain active, until the ability key is pressed again. Sandstorm also has an initial casting cost of 75 energy. If Sandstorm kills an enemy, that is under the effects of Devour, a sand shadow will be created, which is a clone of the killed enemy that will fight alongside Inaros. Inaros will also heal himself, while damaging enemies, under the effects of Devour, as if he were devouring them directly. This ability augment is Elemental Sandstorm. Sandstorm has a 50% chance of inflicting status effects, based on the damage types and mods on equipped melee weapon. Honestly, this ability drains a lot of energy, however the damage isn't that good. The 4 of Inaros is Scarab Swarm. Charge to transform health into hardened scarab armor. Discharge to blast enemies with a Scarab Swarm. Survivors have their health drained and bestowed on allies. Inaros becomes immobile and converts his health into scarab armor, which permanently increases his base armor by up to 100%. When the ability is charged, by holding down the ability key, Inaros loses 29 points of health for every 1% of converted additional bonus armor, for a total of 900 health lost to fully charge the armor. Inaros will continue in the animation, until releasing the ability key, or Inaros only has 2 points of health left, but the health drain will stop once the bonus armor has reached 100%. Health to armor bonus conversion rate is not affected by ability efficiency. Inaros is immune to stagger, knockback, and knockdown effects while charging Scarab Armor. Scarab Armor can be removed by casting a swarm projectile, entering a nullifier bubble, moving too close to a combo or scrambus, by being dispelled, or falling into a pit. Scarab Armor bonus cannot be removed by enemy weapons fire. When Scarab Armor is dispelled, all health previously converted into armor is instantly refunded to Inaros, provided his health is not at maximum value. The augment mod for this ability is Negation Swarm. Scarab Armor protects Inaros from status effects, consuming 3% bonus armor for each effect resisted. This is a really good mod. No status effects mean you don't take so much damage. Alright, now you know a bit more about Inaros, we jump into the build. Inaros doesn't need a lot to build, we already know that health is the main characteristic of Inaros. So we will build according to that. This build is 3 forma, and you can play with all the Umbral mods. First we have Gladiator Aegis, and Gladiator Resolve. More health and armor, that's everything we need. Those mods are like the Blood Rush effect, that give up to 60% critical chance when you have 6 mods equipped. You can play 2 on your Warframes, and 4 on your Sentinel weapons. Like the Deconstructor Prime, which is a melee Sentinel weapon. Next we have the Umbral mods, Intensify, Vitality, Fiber, Power Strength, Vitality, and Health of course. Prime Vigor, if you don't have it don't worry, you can play with normal Vigor. That works pretty good too. Adaptation, we have big health and good armor. Now we need something to go even further beyond, and that's adaptation. By the way, you don't need to put a max rank. The difference between level 8 and level 10 is not big. I put it at rank 8, because I like to play with some radar on Inaros, for survivals. Even if I can put only rank 1, I have another Vigilante mod on my main weapon, and that boosts my critical chance more. And of course for the aura, I use Physique. You can use a lot of auras here, Enemy Radar, Swift Momentum, Corrosive Projection, Steel Charge. For the arcanes I use Arcane Fury, which give you 60% chance for 180% melee damage to melee weapons for 18 seconds. This arcane proc every hit, this is insane, 60% chance is really high chance. You have all-time 180% melee damage. If you don't like Arcane Fury, and you want to be more tanky, you can use Arcane Guardian for more armor. Honestly you don't need it, but you can. Next arcane I use is Arcane Grace. This arcane is mated for Inaros. When you have it at rank 5 this is absurd. You have 9% chance for 6% health regeneration per second. That seems not so good, but in fact this is really good. Arcane Grace is amazing on Inaros. For the gameplay of Inaros now. Just kidding. Active your 4 when you start the mission. Let the enemies hit you, for proc you Arcane Grace. Charge your combo multiplier, and don't stop. I suggest playing Nariman when you play Inaros, because we definitely don't need energy. For the weapons I use, I play Gram Prime, Paracesis, Cronin Prime, but you can play whatever you want for melee with Inaros. Alright, I think this is the end of the video. I hope that you find it informative. If it is you can push that like button. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you on next video.